What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and of course, if you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, this video is where you found the series. Go ahead and check out the link in the description below. I have a whole series in order down there for you guys. So all we're going to need now, really, is basically the Magnum. We won't need many other weapons. I have this just to play around with it because it looks cool. We do need the lockpick for this next part of the game, though, so make sure you have your lockpick. We are heading to Raccoon City Park. I did also forget to mention last episode while we were playing around with Nemesis there while he was kicking my ass in this room. It's kind of crazy that he burst through this door and now the loading screen is gone. There's no loading screen there anymore. Now it's just a straight walkthrough, which is kind of cool considering this came out on the PS1 and it was all pre-rendered rooms, right? And I also forgot to point out the difference in Nemesis's appearance. One of the main things I like a lot about Nemesis in this game is the more you fight him and the more you tackle him, you can see the damage on him, right? He takes damage, his appearance changes. He's mutated now at this point. We've hit him with so many freeze rounds and so many bullets and fire and flame rounds and magnum shots and shotgun shells that he's kind of been forced to adapt to try and kill us. I love that about Nemesis, obviously. When he exploded the helicopter and it crashed into the clock tower, it took this part out. But yeah, I really like the design of Nemesis and how that's a factor. I love that he changes and adapts the more you kick his ass. So going back through the Kronos door here. I'm not sure if the spiders will stay up or not, so caution. His face is twisted with an expression of pain. He seems to have died from poisoning, so they just webbed him up there and poisoned his ass. I'm guessing the glass being broken there is maybe a hint that the spiders left out the window. Because they're not there anymore. I wonder if those slippy, slimy slugs will still be here. Doesn't look like it. Of course, Carlos moved this for us now, so we can skedaddle. Yeah, at this point, not much to worry about. As you can see, you're not gonna have too many problems if it was your second playthrough and you have the infinite ammo magnum. I do apologize if that's not the case for you. If this is your first run, you're gonna have to make the magic happen. Just keep using pistol ammo. What I usually do if I don't have the infinite ammo magnum, I'm just getting my goodie rewards at this point, so I've earned it, so I'm getting it. But if you don't get, you also might get grenade launcher rounds here. It's not always mine thrower. That's RNG. If you don't get the infinite ammo tool from that kill, then what you want to do instead is just stack up on pistol and grenade rounds. Mainly pistol, I would say. On my pre-through, to take notes for this playthrough, what I actually ended up doing was, at this point, I used all the ammo that I found to create the Eagle 6.0 ammunition. And I just went into the dead factory with like 300 pistol rounds and I just made the magic happen. But your pistol rounds and your grenade rounds are the important thing from this point on. More increments here if you want to save up. Photo E. The zombies are attacking. You've taken photo E. If we go to our files, we don't have that many left. Of course, unfortunately, the order that we got here was a little janky because of this. We did the art picture postcard just before the operation instructions, so we did break Jill's diary, but if you're following along and listened to me when I told you not to grab this, then you would be fine up to now. We got 2, 4, 6, 7 more files, and then that'll be every file in the game, so that's pretty cool, right? We'll go ahead and vault this. Now that I got the infinite magnum, I'm feeling very confident, not so stressed anymore. But yeah, at this point we've gotten you 2 gunpowder A's, a bunch of mine thrower, a bunch of first aid sprays, 3 gunpowder A's. Yeah, what I would do there is I would make a AAA right here, and I would make a ton of handgun rounds, and you would already have the shotgun bullets that I made from the B. So you're doing pretty good, even if you don't have the infinite mag pistol. And this part is not that sketchy. There will be some parts that I kill everything just because I can, where I would recommend you to run through, but in general, you're pretty good. Don't worry just because I have this. What does that say? It says, kiss me. Kiss me, fool. Kiss me, cool. Definitely says kiss me with a heart. I don't know what that one says. It says look. It says look backwards. What am I looking at? There's nothing there. Look at the trash can, I guess. Anyways, let me check my notes real quick. Alrighty, so we are heading into the park proper now. We're gonna hang a right when we go inside. There's gonna be some hunters and some those poison gammas hanging about inside the park, so be cautious. Maybe bring a blue herb. If you want to play it extra safe, we've used the park key. You no longer need the key. Will you discard it? Yes. I think you'll be treated to some hunters immediately as you step through this door. Magnum says no. Sure, we're actually good here. Looks like it. Honestly, I likely should have brought some, just blow them away. Very strong. I would always honestly recommend you use the infinite ammo tool on the Magnum, nothing else. It one-shots everything apart from Nemesis and bosses. I hear the footsteps. Sounds like we're okay now. And we're good. This guy has the park key. Yes. You've taken the park key. He's holding something. Written order to the supervisors. Mission requirements, Bravo 16. 1. Obtain and secure sample of all the information pertaining to this case. Observe and record combat data on the UBCS. 2. Destroy all the evidence, including the medical facility that has the medical treatment data. 3. Check the guinea pig's ability to accomplish the mission. Once your mission is complete, evacuate the area. Remember that you must not help anyone who is not a supervisor, nor bring anything back that might be traced to where it belongs. So, the lower downs of the Umbrella mercenary group here were told that they were coming here to save civilians. The leaders and the people in charge of them were told not to help any civilians, not to help anybody that isn't high-grade staff for Umbrella, and to destroy everything that could possibly trace back to them. There's also a thing there with check the guinea pig's ability to accomplish the mission. Now, the guinea pig could likely be referring to Nemesis, right? Nemesis is obviously a bioweapon, and since the Raccoon City was already down the drain, I suspect they just decided to use this opportunity to test him out, right? See what he does. He's clearly here to wrap up STARS, which I would imagine is due to the fact that some of the STARS members survived the Spencer Mansion. And know about that, because canonically this game starts before Resident Evil 2, and then when Jill passes out, she wakes up after Resident Evil 2 has begun. So this is a prequel and a sequel, and obviously Jill and Chris, they all survived the Spencer Mansion. And when they came back, they told everybody what happened. Nobody believed them. Jill actually ended up resigning from STARS, which is why her hat was on the desk, not on her head, why she's dressed differently. And that's also why her STARS card was in the conference room, not in her wallet like Brad's was. So she actually quit after all that, thanks to the way that everybody handled that. And so then they've sent Nemesis in here to clean up any remaining STARS so the word doesn't get out about Umbrella. You gotta protect the corporate assets, right? I imagine that's what all that's about. So now we gotta mosey on back. I love the sound of rain, it's so relaxing. The park is such a cool area. It's such a shame, man. The park and the other places like the clock tower were cut from the RE3 remake. The RE3 remake really did end up feeling like a glorified DLC. It's like a highlight reel of this game instead of a remaking of this game, which is super unfortunate. I wish they had done that a little more respect. Anyways, don't forget to pick your park map up here. And they're all pretty big places that they cut too. I mean, sure, maybe The clock tower wasn't anything extremely special, right? But it was a good chunk of content that didn't need to not be there, but it wasn't. Yeah, they didn't need to not have the clock tower. It would have been so cool to see that in, like, new graphics, because visually Resident Evil 3 Remake is beautiful. It's like the best looking game that they have, I think. I just don't know why they did it dirty like that. So here you want to go black, white, white, black. That'll drain our pool down. And yes, we are going underground. To a slimy, sewery area. Let me check my notes before we head down here, make sure we didn't miss anything in the park. Alright, let's head on down. We didn't miss anything in the park, we're done with that. Now there's going to be some weird stuff that drips from the ceiling here when you first run down. I don't know what the significance of that is, I don't know if it's a problem, so we're just going to get out of that water real quick. I don't know if that's a problem or not, I never stick around to find out. Let's go straight up the... Now, when we go in this graveyard, the dead are literally going to start raising from the graves. So we are going to be fast. We're going to zoom. I'm going to deal with them. I'll try and keep being fast, assuming that you don't have the Magnum. We'll discard the park key. That's what we used there. Then you should be treated to some goodies in here. Some long-needed goodies, actually, if you don't have the park key. Which, again, is why I told you not to stress about not having stuff, because there's always goodies around. If you haven't seen them already, then they will spawn up in here, so you'll be fine. Take the A's and the B's. Which, for us at this point, honestly, would probably be a good idea to make grenade rounds. Since we have the bottomless Magnum. There's a key item there, and we also need the lighter, so come on down into your save room. I would definitely recommend dropping a save here too. Well, what comes next? You can either drop it now or after the next little cutscene we get. Probably do it after the next cutscene we get, actually. Thinking about it. So go ahead and plant that away. You will not really need the lockpick anymore, so you're good on that. It's not all the uses in the game for the lockpick, but it's not necessary for progress anymore, so you don't have to worry about using it. There's our lighter. It'll be the last use for the lighter, I believe. So we have 1A, 3A, or 5 A's and 2 B's. So you could do a BBA here and get a whole gang of ammo. And then you have the A's left over. Where's our grenade launcher? That's our grenade launcher. We have 9 rounds. You could do BA, BA, make 2 gunpowder C's, and then make grenade rounds. Probably should use the GL for the next upcoming encounter, at least a little. Like, the Magnum would do fine, but... yeah, we'll put the shotgun away. I guess we won't be using that after all. And then we'll do... B and A. And then we'll pull out a B. Because I believe if you do B and A, you get C. And then you combine C, you get grenade rounds. And then if you combine the B with the grenade rounds, you get acid rounds. Combine those up. We got 6 acid rounds and 13 regular rounds. I believe the lighter is all we need here. We will save here in a second, but we just want to finish this room off proper first. If you remember that giant worm that kicked our ass in the sewer tunnels that I almost died on trying to finesse it, maintenance tools are placed here. Will you take the iron pipe? Yes. Yeah, that giant worm that almost kicked our ass, we're about to be forced into getting vengeance. There's firewood which could catch on fire. Wind is blowing from the back of the fireplace. That would be your gameplay hint that there's something behind it and that it's flammable. There we go, it kind of looks like a secret entrance. You no longer need this lighter. Will you discard it? Indeed. Light can be seen from the back of the fireplace. Go ahead and use the pipe here. And now the iron pipe has lost its uses. So now we'll run on back here and we'll drop a save. Now that we did that stuff. You don't technically need to save here, you could just do it like way later, but I'll drop it here. But times 6, you could do it after the next cutscene too. We use the ink ribbon, yes. Put that on 16. The ink ribbon back. Up so it's easier to find next time we want to save. Now we can go through this little hidey hole. And what do we have here? Much needed grenade rounds, of course we'll take that. All the way up at 19 now, which is wunderbar. You have a file on the table there. And then a file on the whiteboard. Let me quickly check my notes and let you guys know which one you have to pick up first so you don't break the Joel's diary thing. Alright, so you want to grab the one on the desk first if you don't want to break Joel's diary. Supervisor's report. The endurance ability of the contaminated guinea pigs is truly incredible. Even when shot in a vital area, they can sometimes survive for several days without taking care of the wound. However, after prolonged exposure to the virus, the guinea pig's intelligence level decreases to that of an insect. Even though reviving the dead seems too disgusting, the virus may still be of use. If we inject the virus into our POWs and release them, they would return to their units and then turn into zombies. This plan may work well for us in the future. In certain areas, the virus seems to have caused a mutation of animals and plants. It may be difficult, but it'll make a good sample for the bioweapon development. I've heard that there is a giant alligator, but I have only encountered a giant creature moving under the ground. I don't even want to imagine what creature spawned that monster. So there's it's a commentary on the giant alligator in RE2. I encountered Nemesis. If I didn't know about it, I'd have been contaminated and would have become one of them by now. If it is still walking around in the city, the mission is not yet over. STAR's members must be very tough, since they have survived until this point. However, they cannot hold out forever. So that's confirmation that Nemesis, well, him saying STARS was pretty good confirmation too, but that's direct confirmation that he's after STARS to cover up everything at the mansion. Although, the guinea pig theory that I had right there is clearly not true. I guess the guinea pigs are the people and the animals that they were messing with here to see if they could do it for war. Facts from HQ. Attention, the Raccoon City project has been abandoned. Our political maneuvering in the Senate to delay their plans are now futile. All supervisors should evacuate immediately. The US Army is going to execute their plan tomorrow morning. The city will be obliterated at daybreak for sure. You've taken the facts from the HQ. So they're just gonna blow Raccoon City to smithereens. Everybody be damned. Here's that biohazard box. Too bad we can't take that for evidence. Do you have any bullets or anything, sir? He does not. I guess that's the supervisor, or used to be. It's set to the auto-receive mode.
All supervisors, mission terminated. Return immediately. Repeat. All supervisors return immediately. Over.
That's Umbrella telling all the little piggies to get the hell out.
I'm quite impressed you've managed to stay alive up until now.
And you seem to be doing a pretty good job of looking out for yourself. How about helping out?
I have no intention of helping you.
Because we're nothing but pawns in all this?
In a manner of speaking, you are. Our employers wanted a detailed analysis of the zombie beings which were created through infection by the T-virus.
You're saying that they deliberately sent in a military unit to be butchered by their creations?
Not exactly. Although the conditions encountered on this operation were extreme, it was an unexpected outcome that the team would be wiped out. We were only required to collect live data from the subjects.
Ah!
Another mutant!
Coward. Of course he just cuts and runs, right? So let's take a look at my notes real quick. Alright, so we have everything we need. We'll go ahead and equip the GL briefly. Let's go fight Gravedigger. Again, if you want to save right here, you're a little concerned about this boss fight, go ahead and save. No shame or nothing wrong with that. I'm just feeling confident because we stacked the deck.
What's going on? Whoa! Oh my. What was that?
That is a huge bitch, is what that is. So looking at that, we're still fine. We did burn all those GL rounds already, so at this point, just make sure you keep moving. If you don't move, he's gonna like jump out at you. It'll be a problem. Okay. Just make sure you move around, run around. Wherever he spawns, you can deal with it after. We'll go ahead and heal, make sure we don't get got by him. Moving around. The fight can be a pain in the ass, if I'm being honest. The camera angles aren't very gracious here. Still alive, huh? And Gravedigger's down. And that is our exit strategy. Escape by climbing this fence. Will you climb up the fence? This is gonna put us back in that little sewer tunnel that we were at before. They're little dangly slugs now, so make sure you move through this quickly. Bob and weave if you need to. Okay, now if you remember before, where we got the one lock, where we had to fight those doggos, we gotta go all the way back there, so gotta cut a left through here and go right across. There will be zombies here now. You can skirt them if you would like. If you don't want to waste the ammo, you can go ahead and skirt them. He didn't die. That's interesting. You will not be turboing me today, good sir. Actually coming up on another live selection, the second to last live selection, I believe. Which is another important decision for the ending we want to get, because we want to make sure everybody gets what's coming to them here in this game, not just Jill getting out alive. I want to be the one to finish certain people here too, so I'm only gonna need this key. Will you discard it? Yes. Out of the park. And now we get to go to the origins of all this nonsense.
No!
Stars.
So here what I want you to do is I want you to jump off.
Stars.
I'm not sure if I touched on it enough or as much as I should have here, but depending on your choices here with what you do with all that, whether you jump off or jump down, whether you throw him off the clock tower or use the cord, it does change his encounters, and it just does also change where you encounter people like Carlos and Nikolai and what they will give you for rewards. And it affects his boss fights to a lesser degree too. Like, for example, if we didn't jump out of the train before the clock tower, then Nemesis wouldn't have started that fight with his rocket launcher, because Carlos would have been there with us and he would have used his machine gun to explode the rockets. Little things like that change. And also, depending on which place you go first can also affect where he shows up and who you meet where and things like that. So take the water sample from here. And now that we're in a goody-goody save room and we have a moment to breathe, I think this would be a pretty good place to wrap the episode on. What do you guys think? So, security manual. Don't pick this up, by the way, I didn't check my notes. Security of the plant. Since this plant is a facility under the disguise of a deserted factory, civilians will sometimes enter. If this should occur, do not hesitate to shoot them. If they choose to surrender, arrest and then transfer them to the laboratory as new guinea pigs. You will be rewarded. So, they have this plant disguised as a regular plant. If some kids come here drinking or whatever, they'll just snatch them up and turn them into test tube zombies, which I imagine were then released on the population, and that's how the outbreak happened. Maintenance of the device. This entire plant is controlled by an epidemic prevention system. When contamination is detected in the treatment room or decomposed specimen pool, the plant will automatically be locked down for isolation. In that case, you must follow the manual to unlock it. If the contamination is over the limit, the whole system will automatically lock down. Then, you must remain in the plant and wait for those subsequent orders. Those who leave the facility without permission will suffer extreme consequences. We've taken the security manual. So we'll go ahead and check my file count here. Yeah, see, do not grab that, because we missed one. But we had already broken this, so it doesn't matter for us. But don't pick that up. Yeah, that'll mess your Jill's diary up if you're going for that. I had already decided that I was just going to make this an old file playthrough anyways after I chalked it by accident. So here's your ink ribbons. And we can go ahead and drop a save here because this is where we're going to wrap on up. So thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment on your way out. And I will see you soon with more Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Take care everybody. Have a great day. Peace.